also get to name your firstborn child. That was in the terms as well. We're thinking dork-faced stinkerbutt. Unless it's a boy, then we're gonna call him Gary.
That show really shits on that name.
Well,
You think I'm kidding? This whole thing with Gary.
And now a word from our sponsor, Gary's Wholesale.
Gary's shits on Gary.
You like that one.
Well, I like both of them because he shit on the name Gary. Oh man, this coffee is good. And you know what? Until this last year, I didn't like cold coffee. Now all of a sudden, it's one of my favorite things to have. I can't remember a time where I would want to drink coffee cold.
Remember when you hit that pedestrian with your car?
Yeah, that.
I'm not too fond of cold coffee, but
I hate cold coffee. Sucks.
Until this last year, I hated it too. And then all of a sudden, I started liking it because I could have it during the summer. Because I won't drink hot coffee when it's warm out. But my God, man, what happened? And here's what happened. I ran out of soda, Mountain Dew. And I have to have my caffeine. I got to get my caffeine. And the only thing available to me was coffee. So I made myself nice cold coffee. I'm like, why did I hate this before? It's really good.
You know my reaction to that, right? from Predator, Dutch in the helicopter.
my dad makes really nice iced coffee. We had that for my birthday.
It's a classic song, and they do it in the movie as well. They sing it in the movie, but it's done with a guitar, an acoustic guitar out on a picnic. And you see the film that has it. Like, the thing that's funny about this, like, who's shooting that film? That's what threw me. Because it shows both of them. I'm like, what's going on here? Who's shooting that film? But Jeff and Karen were asked to actually do a studio recording to promote the film. And they did. They released the single. And I got to tell you, they sound great. A lot of people forget that, the Bridges they're trained pianists and singers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did a movie called, what was that thing? They played, the Bridges brothers played brothers. And Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, and she can sing. It's a really good film.
I mean, all actors get voice training, but not every actor has a great voice.
I'm just looking it up real quick. The Fabulous Baker Boys was the movie. And I'm a big fan of the Bridges family. Great actors. 2 generations, possibly a 3rd generation. And that is one of those films I looked at it and went, I am not going to pay $7 to see that in a theater. I will wait till it comes out on video. And that's what I did. I rented it when it came out.
Which one?
Same thing
I had to take off real quick for a second. Which one?
The Fabulous Baker Boys.
Oh, yeah.
And there was another one that Jeff Bridges did that's really good. George Lucas produced about the car innovator. And
Tucker.
I love that movie.
Tucker, Man in His Dream. Yep.
I am not going to fucking pay $7 to see that movie. I waited till it came out on video and watched it. Because I have a rule about movies. Movies have to be big screen movies for me to want to go see them. It needs to be something that must be seen. Epic, high adventure, shit like that. If it's a love story or drama, I'll wait till it comes out on video. I don't have to see it in a theater. The Vamonos. Oh, you mean when Martin loses? When Martin loses his shit with me?
Come on, play it.
What? You want me? Oh.
Luis, una chingada, vámonos, cabrón. Vete al procedimiento. A la chingada el procedimiento, cabrón, vámonos.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. I think it's a great film. Get the Gringo, which somebody said is a sequel, sort of sequel, quasi sequel to his version of Payback. That character got caught because he acts exactly the same way. You know, and I'm going to tell you, this was, and there are so many connections because a lot of people don't know this, that E.T. was actually not what he started with. Night Skies was what he started with, and it was a sci-fi horror film that involved a kid helping this alien run and hide from bad aliens, scary aliens. So it was a sci-fi horror film that Spielberg tried to get produced, and he went to Universal. And the minute he went with Universal, Universal wanted a family-friendly film. So all the horror started getting pushed out of it. And eventually it became E.T. And what they did is they took the horror elements from from Night Skies, and made another movie. And that little movie was called, anybody?
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. And that's how Poltergeist came into existence. It was the leftover horror residue of Night Skies.
That sounds wrong.
Leftover horror residue. That really does sound wrong.
It sounds gross. And a lot of Spielberg's work is kind of gross like that. But
true.
So, because I poked fun at him, I said he wouldn't know irony if it came up and cut his dick off in front of him and then handed it to him.
Jesus.
Ironically. Hey, you might need this later. So, but Spielberg has made some really good films. Raiders, Last Crusade, Jaws, Close Encounters, great fucking movies. I even like his first big movie, the first theatrical film, which was the action comedy with Goldie Hawn and Atherton that played Walter Peck in Ghostbusters.
Something Express, something like that.
Yes,
can't remember.
Something Express. You
it was
got
a road movie.
Yeah, it's a road action film.
Wow.
He's trying to help her because she's going to lose her child.
Now I got to look that up. I can't remember what the name of it is.
And it has a happy ending. I like the film. I do.
Yeah.
And I like the stuff he did for TV. His first movie for TV, of course, was Duel. And but he worked on Columbo. He did several great episodes of Columbo and Night Gallery. In fact, he directed the one with Joan Crawford. And she has this surgery done. And she takes the bandages off too soon in order to see the dawn, her first dawn that she never sees. And she takes them off too early. And right as the dawn comes up, she goes blind again because she took the bandages off too soon.
Damn.
Oh, cruel irony. And of course, again, he misunderstands irony all the time. Ridley Scott's the same way. He's even worse, in my opinion. And but Steven still is a good writer. It surprises me because he did Close Encounters. He wrote that whole thing. Did a terrific job. So I see Gambit 87 is here. Tom Baker is here. Slasher Fred. Ariel Ballette is here. Hi, Ariel. And Connie Cleary is here.
The first thing they put him on here is as a producer, so you got to scroll all the way down to the bottom of it just to get his directing stuff. I hate that. It's so dumb.
Well, there are so many things in this movie, and I like this film because I hate E.T. And this movie is E.T. for grown-ups. I'm not saying it's an adult film because if you go Google E.T. adult porn parody, you will not like what you see.
Ooh,
oh, geez.
Real quick, Gary, the Sugarland Express is the name of the movie.
That's it, Sugarland Express.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I do.
Yep.
So.
Yep. But yeah, I'm with you on E.T. I got drugged kicking and screaming to see that movie by my fiance when I was a senior in high school, man. It's just no.
Yeah, but we're doing it for Gary's birthday show because he made me do
Well,
Airplane on my birthday.
Yeah,
and
because I
fucking
made her
hated
do
that
Airplane.
movie.
We gave her ample opportunity
No, you didn't.
to pick something else. James
You knew
Bond.
I was mistaking that movie
Nope,
for another
nope.
Airplane
I am
movie,
not
and you
picking
did
for
not
you.
correct me.
You have to choose what movie. You must choose. And she did not.
Fuck off.
She did not choose.
Well,
or
well,
as
the
the knight said in
You could have told me I'm
Last
thinking about the
Crusade.
wrong movie.
In
That's
Last
fine.
Crusade, he said he chose poorly.
She chose poorly. Yes.
well,
I
The-
thought
the
it was Fly or Die, and that one's actually
the
fair.
only thing that matters is when we are going to do ET. I'm gonna have a double enjoyment because I did like the movie, and now I'm going to see. I have to see you two squirming.
Oh man.
So double pleasure for me.
Yikes. Yeah, it's I mean, it's okay. It's cute and everything, but
It's
Yeah.
a labor watching that movie.
it is.
And a lot of people don't know this. They make a connection with the song Heartlight by Neil Diamond as being done for the movie E.T. And I went, no, it was done
No.
later. The
Mm.
song was inspired by E.T., which
Mhm.
made me even more sad.
Right.
It's like, how could you feel inspired by that? Because I consider, and I'm sorry, I know you like it, Martin, but I always felt the film was kind of insipid. And
I saw it as a kid, and I found it dumb. And I was like 9 back then.
You were
was
no?
as- you no, she was at the theater. 9.
9.
No, it
Nine.
came up on
9.
TV, and my mom found it cute. Because I think she saw it in the cinema. So she let us watch it, and I'm like, this is so dumb.
Hey, Zach says, what's up, Kyle?
God damn, anime, you're dead inside. And for Zach,
No, I'm not. Fuck off.
and for Zach,
The fuck up, Kyle!
Tom Baker has a suggestion for us to watch, Gary.
yeah, no, we are not. If the day you choose to do this movie, I won't be on the show. I'm
What
sorry.
show?
Hard
No,
Oh,
he
man.
wants him to
No.
watch it with me. He's not suggesting
No,
it for the show. He wants.
I doubt we'll ever cover the film on
Yeah,
the
but he
channel.
wants you to show me the movie.
But I got to tell you, Tom, Zach's made me do a clip, asked me to do a clip of that for him. And he used that scene of him in the theater grabbing the chair in front of him, just jerking on it. Because for some reason, Zach's found that funny. And I went, I just can't. I can't, man. This is
Yikes.
back when Zach's was doing what Martin does. He was running the shows.
Mhm.
And I went, I just can't. I don't find that funny, man. Because I know what happens in that scene.
Mm.
That he's, yes, you did, Kyle. And you wanted to play it on the show, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. I don't find it funny. Hardcore is it's a hardcore movie.
Yes, it is.
And it's basically they touch on the same kind of subject matter with the movie 8mm.
Oh
with,
God, I'll never watch 8mm again. That movie made me physically ill. I was like,
it's
no.
so tough to deal with. And the thing that pissed me off of that movie, because it was really good until the third act, when he goes into the fucking room to negotiate with the bad guys with the film on him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all they gotta do now is kill you.
Kill you. Yeah.
And take it. That's stupid. Who the fuck would do that? And it ruined the ending. Ruined, Brian. Ruined.
Ruined. I tell you what, I know that side of life exists. I understand that, but there's a reason
Yeah.
why I stay away from it. And it's just no.
Well, it's such
No,
a
I
dark
don't-
subject matter of
It
this.
It's
This
horrible.
guy, this rich guy could only get off to this girl being murdered in a porn.
It's horrible. That movie's
Bad,
it's
Tim.
rough.
Bad, Tim.
What
This
did
is-
he do?
He enjoyed the shit show tonight, Gary. I mean,
What
your
shit
fault. You're talking about that stuff.
about I don't
I don't
do that.
understand what
You were
should
talking.
neither.
You were talking about the prep you have to do before tomorrow. I think that's what he means.
Oh, fuck
You
you,
know what you
Tim.
have to. Yeah. That's
Oh man, bummer. Yeah.
The
Oops.
real life bridge
This.
of the battle.
This fills
the
all
shit
the way
show,
to the
yeah.
top right here, and I have to drink the first half of this tonight. And what's been explained to me is it's not just explosive diarrhea, it is projectile diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Strap
And
your
so-
ass to the seat. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I told Lauren, I'm terrified of that. I mean, just the idea that will I be able to make it to the bathroom in time? And she's like, do you want me to get you a diaper? I can get you a diaper. And I'm like, I don't want to shit my pants, but I don't know.
Okay.
No.
Gary, no. This is seriously. You must take some precautions because some people tend to get dizzy while they are under the effects of that shit. So don't you can fall.
What do you mean DC?
Dizzy, you idiot. No, but honestly, I would ask her for.
See, I'm trying to help the motherfucker, and he laughs at me.
I would ask her for a bucket just in case.
Just so you know, when I die, if I can, I'm going to crack a joke and laugh and die because that's how I want to go out.
There you go.
Saying something fucked up.
Seriously, man. My worry is that you may have a fall. So be careful.
I sit most of the time because I can't stand for very long anyway because of my back. And
you're not really getting
because I just had a
dizzy
long
still.
talk with my doctor on Monday, and the conversation went like this. I'm like, I need to be in a wheelchair, and my ego's gone. I'm aware of the fact I need to be in a wheelchair, and she says we will get you the wheelchair after 6 weeks of physical therapy. Right after the 6th week, she can order the MRI. Who is that?
It's Kate Beckinsale as Supergirl.
Oh, it disappeared. Yeah, Kate Beckinsale's very pretty.
Kate Beckinsale as Supergirl.
I think she would have been a good Sue Storm, better than what we got.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's her on my iPad. It's one of those AI pictures that I made and I put it on my iPad.
So that's her on an iPad. Do you have one of her like on a dick?
No.
Oh my God.
No, that's okay.
I'm still partial to Sarah Michelle Gellar. Jones.
Sodomy what?
Oh yeah.
Sodomy
I found
what?
something. Matter of fact, when I have my wife make you that coffee mug with that picture of the privateer you like, I found a Maxim magazine with her on the cover that I'm sending you. At the height of her powers, bro. Yeah.
I said, well, Gary, what I said is I prefer a young Sarah Michelle Gellar as a Supergirl.
Oh, Sarah Michelle. Because it sounds like you're saying sodomy something.
Buffy.
Oh my goodness. No.
Buffy.
And that's why I said sodomy what?
Again, I'm so happy my mom doesn't watch the show.
By the way, sodomy does not mean just that. In legalese, sodomy means any sex that's not missionary.
Yep.
And I'm going to still bet that it's on the books in some states as a crime.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have the weirdest laws.
Something like salami.
Salome.
I better start with this.
Oh, have you done Tim's video yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh no.
And you haven't done Sax's either. The fuck?
He has done Sax's
Yes,
video.
I did Sax.
All right.
But Tim was being bad, Tim. Does he deserve it?
Tim. Okay, so then this was
some pictures of civilian casualties.
Fuck you, Tim.
Yes,
Really?
yes, good one. Appropriate. That's from the Finnish series, Joe. Conflicti.
Is it?
They had conflict with languages.
Yeah, they did. That's what I was fixing to say. It must have been the 50% that was in English.
They couldn't agree which language was the show.
Right. What do we do?
The stupid thing was that the Finnish people amongst themselves were speaking English, and they shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that was
that was
probably
Yeah,
one of the
it's like
silliest
I
parts of
understand
it.
it when there are Americans around, but why are you speaking English when you're around
in
the
your
others
own headquarters?
Yeah, with
I
Everybody's
get that
Finnish in there.
it's done for the audience, but just give us the fucking subtitles. Make it more authentic.
Sorry, I had to move my keyboard because it's
People are asking, "What are you drinking, Gary?" It's coffee, guys.
Coffee right now. For breakfast / lunch, I had a hot cup of broth. That's all I can have today is liquid
stuff.
I was watching this last night with my wife, and this part when they are showing the recording, I said, everybody involved with that idea should be rounded up and beaten to death with sticks. And she said, why? Why? Don't you remember what happened when Europe came to America first? So we're going.
Here's
to
the scene where they're singing the song.
Yeah. It's only been a couple months since her husband died, and she can't let go.
Yeah, that's.
She just tell herself to go to
she's
bed.
a sad
though.
character. She really is.
Yeah, but when they develop feelings for each other, it's just so sweet. By the way, the song that is on the real LP that went up with Voyager 2 is Johnny Be Good, and not the one they picked for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rock song that they chose. I don't know why they changed it for the movie, but they did. Hi, Sander.
Most likely cost.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. Slash of Red is here too.
Or it could be just that John Carpenter likes that song a lot. Who knows?
Artistic liberty, yeah. Why not? Oh, that scene is so funny when he figures out for himself that's the appropriate way of saying goodbye for humans. And it's not.
I like when he picks up the gun and starts shooting it. That's kick-ass.
Yeah, out the window.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny, yeah.
And I saw this movie in the theater, by the way, because I've always been a John Carpenter fan.
Me too.
I fucking love this film.
Yeah.
One more first watch for me.
Did you enjoy it?
Very much, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that I didn't come across this movie when I was in my 20s and an insomniac. I lived like around the corner from a video store, and I rented so many VHS tapes, and some of them multiple times, just so I had shit I could play at night because TV is crap. Or was back then.
Well, I don't know, Gary. Would you agree that this is a deviation for Carpenter? Really, this film here?
Well, I mean, it's the first film and only film where he did this.
Yeah,
and I like it because he showed already previously that he was good with science fiction, with Escape from New York, The Thing as well. Even though The Thing flopped, and that's why he did this movie.
Yeah,
he needed this film to salvage his career.
Yeah, and he felt it necessary to do something completely different from what he's usually doing. I mean, he's usually doing horror and stuff. So
yeah,
he went for romantic because he felt that was needed for him to be employable in the future in Hollywood. And they marketed this movie to men as science fiction and to women.
And it sat around
romance.
for a while. And the reason this movie got pushed back a little bit was because of Spielberg. And I found it kind of ironic that Spielberg is why The Thing and Blade Runner tanked, because they couldn't compete with it in the theater. And later he would get to make his version of E.T., which I think is the superior E.T., with this movie. This is a better film than E.T.
Yeah, it is.
It took them 4 years, though, to make this. And production took almost a year. They started in February and finished in November, which is unusually
Well,
long
they
for a
actually
movie.
started it all the way back in '79 with this film. And you had other directors that were attached to it. You had John Borman attached to it.
Really?
You had Tony Scott was attached to it. At one point, even Spielberg was attached to it. And it just eventually kept getting pushed back, and the directors would quit. And I can't remember, there was another director, a good director, that was right before Carpenter came in.
Hold on a moment.
And he dropped doing the film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for Anima. I thought she was going to say something.
There. Mark Riddell was the first one, then Adrian Lyne, then John Badham, then Tony Scott, then Peter Hyams, and then John Carpenter.
Adrian Lyne is a good director.
6 directors.
Peter Hyams is too.
Good directors. The two directors I thought could have done this movie well was Tony Scott and John Borman. I think that I would have liked to see their versions of this as well.
Peter Hyams
But
wouldn't have been
Tony
bad
came
either,
in, he had he wanted what's his name? Tom Cruise. And this is back when Tom Cruise was nobody. And so he wanted Tom Cruise for the Alien. It's like, wow, that's young. They both directors, Borman and he, went for young actors. And it's like, no, this is for somebody that's in their 30s, man.
And he wasn't available anyway, Cruise.
Well, he was doing Legend with his brother, Tony's brother, Ridley Scott. And I'm glad he did Legend. I like the movie Legend a lot.
Yeah, Legend's pretty cool.
And especially the director's cut is so much better than the theatrical version. It's, in fact, once you see the director's cut, it's one of those films when you see it, yes, this is a superior version. They should stop releasing the theatrical cut. Only release this version. Whereas sometimes that's not true, like with Payback. Because Payback, the theatrical is better than the director's cut. I dislike the director's cut, in fact. Payback with Mel Gibson. So sometimes it's better. Sometimes, like another one, a great example, the director, it's not really the director's cut. It is referred to as it's the Big Red One with Lee Marvin and Mark Hamill. And what happened was the director died, and they went back to his original notes and cut notes, edit notes, and put the film back together again for him. And that version is the superior version of the Big Red One. And with this film, Carpenter, I think he was the right director, the right time, because he was hungry. He got hurt. His last 2 films tanked. And he was coming off of that. And it's like, got to make something and got to save my career. And so he did Starman. And all he was in this was the director. He didn't write it. He didn't do the music. In fact, the music is by Jack Nietzsche. And Nietzsche did some great soundtracks. In fact, he did films that are better known for their music than for the soundtrack. But when you go back to listen to the soundtrack, it's like, that's really pretty good stuff. And he did, gosh, let me think. He did, oh my God, come on, help me here. Oh, the original. He did all the other music other than Mike Oldfield. Now, he worked with Oldfield to do that version of Tubular Bells for the film. But the rest of the music was fucking Nietzsche. He did the music for like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Nicholson. He did the movie with Harrison Ford and Henry Winkler, Heroes, about Vietnam vets coming back. And
that was a good movie.
Yes, it was. And he did the soundtrack for Hardcore. You just brought this up with George C. Scott. Both Blue Collar and Hardcore, he did the soundtracks for it, were directed by Paul Schrader, another director I'm very fond of. Let me think.
You just said he didn't do anything else on this movie but directed. That's not true. He does a short cameo in one of the helicopters.
I'm talking about on production.
I just want to mention that.
What Carpenter is known for. Hold on. Anybody who knows John Carpenter knows what I'm talking about, which is he's notorious for doing the soundtrack, the editing, and so
he does most of the post-production. Yeah,
he does, but not on this film.
Yeah,
this film he was just the director. Making a cameo, that's different. That's different.
I like when they do that. That's why I wanted to mention it. I find it funny.
But I also want to point out that the crater, Behringer Crater there in Arizona, I grew up in Phoenix, and I went to that place and as a kid, and I just have no memory of it. But I tried to go there as an adult after my stepdad died and after I lost my brother. And both times they charged an arm and a leg to even get up to the crater. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. You should be able to just walk up and look at this landmark like the Grand Canyon. You don't charge for people to see those. Why would you do that? And it's really annoying that they do that. So anyway, the last 2 times I was in Arizona, I didn't go to see it. Last three times, because I also moved back there in 2014, at the end of 2014, Christmas of 2014. And they still charge money. And in 2007, 2008, it was like $13, and now it's $27 a person.
Which is insane. You shouldn't charge that much for
it's ridiculous.
It is.
Especially when it's federally funded. So I just, that pissed me off. So anyway, they did shoot it there. They shot at some locations that I personally know, including the Indian Mall that they shot at with the big geodesic dome.
They were on the road a lot.
Also, I love that shot because they filmed it upside down and then put him upright in the scene. But he's actually upside down, and that's why he looks so weird.
It's pretty obvious that they had him upside down and then adjusted the background.
Yeah.
Yep. And by the way, the UFO in this that he came in on, tell me that doesn't remind you of the one shape that you get in The Navigator. Flight of the Navigator, from one of my favorite Disney films ever made, with the alien UFO abduction film with the kid.
I have no idea what you're talking
Flight
about.
of the Navigator? Anyone?
I do know the Flight of the Okay, yeah, I do know it. I'm sorry, I was drawing. Yes, I do know it. Yes, I do.
God, man, sometimes you guys make me feel like I'm surrounded by nothing but a bunch of fucking heathens.
You know, I don't know shit, Gary. This is not
you were talking.
Nobody knows this fucking movie.
Fuck off.
What are you, a fucking rooster? Fuck off.
It did sound like it a little bit.
What he did. He sounded like a fucking rooster.
People in chat love it. Flight of the Navigator.
It's okay.
It's a good movie.
It's a great little film. Paul Rubens was the voice. And
yeah, Special Fred just said that.
Pee Wee Herman. Well, he looks it up. I fucking know these things.
Should I watch it?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, Fred. No, Fred doesn't look it up. Fred knows his shit too.
Fred knows. Yeah.
Fred is like kind of like Keith and me, just walking around with this shit in his head.
Gambit is Mr. IMDb.
I'm thinking of oh my god, Gambit. Gambit's the one that looks shit up.
He lives in the trivia section on IMDb.
He lives in the trivia section of IMDb and fucking cut and paste it, man. We love you, Gambit. But
he's been in our chat for like 2 days now.
But my only problem
with comments.
I remember that because Picard liked doing that shit. Chips in the bottle. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
As I was trying to say, my only gripe with the Navigator movie is when the ship acquires the personality of the kid. I like more when the ship was serious.
Yeah.
Well, they had to do something to.
Yeah, for
it's
the for the
it's
kid
a family
audience.
film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a family film. And I just really, I'm a big fan of that movie. I really thought they did a terrific job with it. And I got to be honest, I liked Paul Rubens in it. He was very good as the voice of the ship. And the kid did a fantastic job too, by the way.
My favorite Paul Rubens movie ever is Mystery Man.
Yeah, as the spleen.
The spleen. Pull my finger.
Spleen.
No.
Oh, by the way, when that one thing explodes behind him, that was improvised because it was an accident. And then he goes, "Excuse me." After it explodes.
That is so funny. Damn. That guy was
sad.
He was an extremely talented dude. He really was.
Yeah, he was.
Guy was great.
I am a big fan of the origin of Pee Wee Herman, the original, because I saw it and I love the original version. Phil Hartman did so much writing on that shit.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. But yeah, this movie here, it's got some elements of E.T. It's got some elements of Close Encounters of the Third Kind in it, but at the base of it, it's really a love story, man. It's pretty damn cool.
Well, it was, and this is brought up by John Carpenter, Jeff Bridges, and Karen Allen in interviews that it happened one night with Clark Gable.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that story, but with
Right.
science fiction elements.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I thought that was Tobin Bell in that silver suit there, because it sure sounds like him. You know him as Quatu. Or
Yes.
Quato, sorry, in
Quato.
Total Recall.
Right.
Great fucking actor.
Mm-hmm.
Not Tobin Bell. Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Tobin Bell's the guy from Saw. Hold on.
You want me to look it up?
I'm doing it right now. Total Recall. 1990. And let's get the cast.
The greatest Arnold Schwarzenegger movie ever made.
Marshall Bell. That's it. Tobin Bell is the guy from Saw. Marshall Bell, no relation to each other. Great fucking character actor. And I swear to God, I couldn't find his name in the credits, but I swear to God, that sounds like Tobin Bell. And if you get a speaking part in a film, you're supposed to get credit. So whoever that guy is, he sounds like Marshall Bell. Yeah, that's great, the way that was shot. And he just takes off running. Gets back in the van. Get the fuck out of here. Charles Martin Smith, a lot of people don't remember him. He's one of the best characters, and he is the character based on George Lucas in the movie American Graffiti. I like that movie, by the way. My ex-wife and my son fell asleep watching that movie. Never Cry Wolf.
Really?
I was engrossed in that movie all the way to the end. I thought it was a very good film. I know it's boring, but I like boring when it's good. Hey, Vince Womack, what's up, Vince? How you doing,
Vince.
brother?
Oh my God, Vince.
Oh,
Good to
he's
see you,
always-
Vince.
He's
You're the
always
best,
posting
man.
a lot of links. Yeah.
You're the
Yeah,
best.
but that's so fast. How do you do that?
What?
He's
does,
promoting
like,
everyone in
Yeah, but he does
at an incredible
links
speed.
for everyone. But
That's him, man.
yeah, but he does several at a time. How does
Yeah,
he do that?
he copy and pastes it, man.
He
I'm
probably
telling you.
copies it. He
Yeah,
probably got them.
He's got a list of them, and he
he's
just
smart.
pops them in there.
He pre-plans and puts everything in probably Notepad, and
Yep.
then just can copy and paste real quick. That's called preparation, Martin. If you never heard of it.
Macro keys is what what he's using, apparently. Whatever that is. But yeah, you got a great wrench right there, Joe.
Yeah. For
I
sure.
wonder what Debut Martin is. He's our king of wrenches.
He is a great one as well.
Yeah,
He's
right up
everywhere.
there.
He's
All the
on
time
all the
here, and you
channels.
see him all the time on that 70s Rock Fans channel a lot too. Wasn't Bridges nominated for an Academy Award for this part?
Yes, he was.
Pretty sure he was. I was trying to think the other day of the movies that he's been nominated for, and I think it's
It was
just
a
this
big
one
thing
and-
too, because he
Yeah.
was nominated for Best Actor, and sci-fi movies usually don't get that kind
Yeah.
of nomination.
They usually don't. I think he was
Horror in
nominated for
particular.
True Grit too, right? Wasn't he the remake by the Coen brothers? I think he was.
That I don't know.
I have to look it up real quick. To see.
But that was the one nomination they got. Usually when a sci-fi movie gets nominated, it's for Best Movie,
Right.
not for Best Actor. And he should have gotten it, I think. I don't know who got it that year, but he
Yeah, I
deserves it.
forgot there was a TV show of this too. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
They
but
did make a
it
TV
didn't
show.
have
of
the
it.
love story, so it went nowhere.
Yeah.
They tried to continue, but minus the love story, it needed the romance.
Right.
Yeah, that was the problem. It was just a father-son story, and it just didn't do very well. Now, do you know what the first horror film to ever get science fiction horror film to get an Academy Award nomination for the film and for the actor?
The film and the actor?
Mm.
I know what the first fantasy one was, but no, science fiction I don't.
Because sci-fi / horror really is treated disrespectfully by the Academy.
Yeah, it is.
The first film to ever do it was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, 1920, with John Barrymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Very good.
And the only
cool.
other horror film after that I'm aware of right now, because I don't pay attention to the Oscars anymore, but back in the day, to get a nomination for Best Actor was Jeff Goldblum, The Fly.
Really? He got nominated for The Fly?
Yes, he did.
Oh, very cool. Well, depending on how you look at it, a horror movie actually won the Big Five in 91. If you classify Silence of the Lambs as a horror movie.
It's a thriller.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I always mess with my wife
horrifying.
and tell her it's a horror movie because she doesn't watch horror movies. And I'm like, yes, you do. You love Hannibal Lecter. That's a horror movie. I also consider Jaws a monster movie,
It
is also horror too.
Yeah.
That's the kind of horror that I can do, though.
Yeah,
well, we will be doing it this July because it's a film I've wanted to cover for a while. It's the single best use of irony Spielberg has ever done. And it's not his doing. It's because they stuck to certain elements that are in the book, where you have a guy that is a New York cop that moves to be the police officer on a fucking island. And he's terrified of water. That's irony.
Yeah.
A guy who hunts and kills sharks, who survived one of the worst maritime shark attacks in history.
You got to be kidding me.
USS Indianapolis, only to die in the mouth of his prey, the thing that he was hunting. That's irony.
Look how much of that work I had to just wipe out because I had it zoomed in so close I didn't even know I had done it. I had blacked out everything on the board.
Oh no.
Yes. And I just got rid of everything I did for the last 10 minutes. Shit.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't consider psycho horror either. I consider that again a psychological thriller.
Right, but man, it's got horror elements, dude.
It has some
scared the
scary
shit out of
shit
me
in
when
it.
I was a kid, dude. Oh, that
Look,
last
I'm gonna
part
tell
with
you,
the lights
this is
swinging.
true. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you right now, I I had trouble taking showers without locking the door
Right?
as a kid because of that fucking movie.
Okay, time to draw a bunch of lines again.
Oh, great news, Mike. He has a job interview on Friday. Fingers crossed, dude.
Who
Very
does?
cool.
Oh,
Mike.
good.
Very good. I just get rejected all the time.
I cannot believe that they allowed Jeff Bridges in a Hollywood movie to wear a Make America Great Again hat.
Right? The hell is up with that?
Look at that. Nobody's smacking it off his head and melting down in public. The thing that's great here is you think that maybe he didn't notice the note she wrote being kidnapped and all that shit.
Right.
So he leaves the bathroom. Yeah, I saw it when I was 8. That's how old I was, Vince. How old were you?
Which one?
Psycho.
God,
I didn't
should
see
watch-
Friday the 13th until I was
younger than
16.
that, man. I remember that movie because
You should not watch shit like that at that age.
I was watching television when everybody else was asleep. I had an earache, and one of the things my mother used to do, you guys are going to laugh at this, the water bottle. Many people call it a douchebag. My mom filled it up with hot water and put it for me to lay on, and I would watch TV late at night with my ear hurting, right? And Psycho was on one night, and they didn't know I was watching it, and it was cut for television and everything, but still the visuals in that movie will scare the shit out of a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Hells to the yeah.
Yeah, I saw it when I was 5. I was like, whoa, this is scary shit.
Oh, that's when he starts driving because he watched her.
Right.
That leads to a really funny scene when he runs.
Right.
He goes right through a stoplight,
So
almost
good.
has an accident.
No, it's a yellow light.
I watched you very carefully. Green means go.
Red light
means
stop. Green light go.
Yellow
light,
means go very
fast.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Which reminds me of a joke that was made by Johnny Carson back in the 70s. He says, in his opening monologue, he stands there. He says, and oh, by the way, if you didn't know, it is official. They finally gave a name to the amber light. And he says, we all know that red is stop, green is go. And officially, as of today, the amber light is called the gasset. I laughed so fucking hard at that joke. I'm like, God damn, Johnny Carson's writers.
In Croatia, they say green light is go, red light is stop, yellow light is go, but look first. They drive like crazy people.
Oh, Croatians?
Italians too. Yeah. Yeah, Psycho.
What do you think of the pencils on this so far? You liking this?
Yeah, dude, your pencils are awesome, dude. Of course, this is my first crack at this. When I did the plot for this, I didn't put much detail in my pencils, but the next one I'm going to do a lot more detail in the pencils. It seems to make your inking a lot easier to do.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. But the one thing I do digitally, a lot of time, I won't even bother penciling. Yeah. I'll go straight from my rough sketches and start inking.
Yeah.
Because you can so quickly undo something if you fuck up.
That's what I'm doing here. I mean, dude, you probably don't even know what that is. I'm probably the only person that knows what that is, It's supposed to be the helicopter right here doing a strafing run. It's and that's the back of the boat right there. But
right.
I'm going to do all the details. That's about the most detail I put in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, totally. By the way, I want to point out Charles Martin Smith here does not do a lot of films, and he'll go through long periods. But I suspect he does a lot of stage because he strikes me as a guy that likes working the stage.
I was fixing to say the guy is phenomenal, man.
Great young actor.
Yeah,
he's my age. Technically, he's in his 70s now. I think he's 71. But over on the left there is one of my dad's favorite actors ever is Richard Jekyll.
That's who that's who I thought you were talking about.
Oh
He's
no,
awesome.
Charles Martin Smith is the guy on the right.
Right.
Richard Jekyll.
He's the guy from American Graffiti, right? Yeah.
Yeah, American Graffiti. And Richard Jekyll has been in so many great fucking movies.
Dude,
one of my favorite films he's in is a sci-fi film from the 60s called The Green Slime.
The Green Slime.
I own that movie
forever.
I bought it. I love that fucking movie, and I will probably watch that movie once a year until I die.
Wow.
But Richard Jekyll was I would put him in the top 3 favorite actors of my dad. Him, Richard Crenna, and there was a third one of top leading man type actors. It was Richard Crenna, Richard Jekyll, and I cannot remember who the third one is. It's like I'm drawing a blank right now, but I'll remember it sometime. I'll blurt it out while we're talking.
Right. Oh, there it is.
Doug McClure. Now my dad did not like Doug McClure, but I liked Doug McClure as a kid. One, he was on a Western series that I liked a lot with the one, I'm not sure, was he on the same one? The Big Valley, right? Wasn't that the one he was on, or was he on High Chaparral? But anyway, he did Western TV, and then he started going to movies, and he did like Land Before Time and shit like that, sci-fi dinosaur movies and shit, and fucking love Doug McClure, the B-movie sci-fi films he did. But Richard Jekyll was one of these serious actors that my dad took a massive shine to, and just loved him as an actor. And he's in a movie that I showed the clip, and it got him a nomination, by the way, and a win for an Oscar. Best Supporting Actor was the film he did with Paul Newman. I had the name in my head, and then I just lost it. Something Notion, a Great Notion, was that it? Anyway, Henry Fonda, Paul Newman, and Richard Jekyll. And Richard Jekyll plays Paul Newman's younger brother, and they're running a logging company founded by their dad. And his character drowns in the film, Richard Jekyll, because he finds the situation so funny. He gets pinned underwater by a log. And Paul Newman's character, they're both alone. They're alone. And he has to breathe for him. And he made a joke before he even went under that he says, if you have to do mouth to mouth with me, people might misconstrue it and think we're kissing.
Before going under the water.
Before going under. And so while he's breathing air into him under the water, Paul Newman's character is, it makes Richard Jekyll laugh. And the problem with laughing is you'll accidentally suck in air while you're laughing. And he fucking drowns, pinned underwater.
That's so heartbreaking, that scene.
The one that Doug McClure was on was the Virginian, by the way.
The Virginian, that was it. Because the Big Valley and the Virginian and High Chaparral were like the 3 big Western ranch movie TV shows. Really good stuff.
How things seem to come around again. I thought about Bonanza and all that shit whenever I was watching Yellowstone. I was like, man, that's all this is. It's just a little bit more
Bonanza
adult.
predates all those shows, by the way. Because it started in, was it 59?
Yeah.
Or was it 60? I can't remember. It was the first one.
Yep.
Penny really likes this movie.
I don't think it's possible not.
I was fixing to say it's hard not to like this movie. It really is.
It has heart.
Yes.
You need to be an asshole to not like this movie. And why is Martine in the back office?
He probably had some kind of problem. Guys, I gotta go. I gotta
see if any of you freakers notice.
I kept watching the private chat in case you put something there.
I've been in the middle of getting ready to bail because I've got to get ready for my show.
Yeah, I'm drawing and talking. I'm not really looking at you guys.
Right.
So take it easy, Joe. See you later, man. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, for
Bye,
sure.
Joe.
You guys
Have
take
a nice
it
show.
easy. Huh? What'd you say?
Bye, Joe. Have a nice show.
I'm going to try, man. You guys stop by when you're done watching Gary, guys. I will see you later.
All right, buddy.
See ya.
Right?
And why was Mike in our chat? And he still is, and not on the panel.
Well, he may have been job hunting.
But he has an interview on Friday, so get your ass on here, Mike.
Yeah. Let him be. Let him be.
No, he needs to be bossed around sometimes. He likes that.
Why would my fiance know that?
He has Austrian roots. We connect, you know. His wife bosses him enough. Okay. I'll try to stop then, Mike.
Yeah, I get enough of that shit from my wife.
I bet Gary is looking forward to me bossing him around.
Oh yeah, it's
Gambit.
absolutely what I'm looking forward to.
Gambit is asking, could you guys upload State of Grace from 1990? That's something you...
Again, he's walking around with that Make America Great Again hat. And I guess it's because now he's in the Midwest where they like that shit.
What do you think about the movie that Gambit suggested? State of Grace?
That's a movie with Ed Harris, right?
I don't know. He just says it's from 1980. 1990, sorry. Don't you dare call me Germanic, Mike. Fuck off. I do have German.
Yeah, Ed Harris. Ed Harris in it, Gary Oldman. Yeah, Sean Penn. It's a good film. And it's the film where Robin Wright met Sean Penn. And they ended up getting married for a while and I think they had kids. But I think she's also batshit crazy. She's like so many of the women in Hollywood, just fucking insane.
Oh, is this where he discovers food?
Wait a minute, Gig Young. What about that Gig Young? Put that back. I never knew. Yes, he did. He married her, and on their honeymoon, he shot and killed her and then shot himself.
Wow.
That murder self-deletion.
Crazy.
And he's a good fucking actor, man. I think that needs to go up a little bit. I'm paying attention to my anatomy on this guy right now. Something's bothering me.
What's that scene you're doing? Because you're too small. I can't really see.
This is when he's breached that building and takes out the biker. And it leads to a funny moment, just so you guys know. Oh, is the movie over?
No. We're not even halfway through. My team blew
Oh.
you up so we can see.
So, and this leads to the backdoor scene. It's just funny. No, this is the scene where John breaches that the main building next to a warehouse, where he knows these guys are in there because they have thermal on the drone that's flying overhead, and it's telling him where everything is. And he kills the first guy standing outside the door. He walks out. Walks out into the hallway to light a cigarette. Turns like, someone there? And he smokes the guy. He just fucking nails him. And but because of that, and you see the blood here on the wall from him shooting him, they watched him fucking get shot. So they know somebody's coming. And the dilemma for him is, he's like, how do you breach a room where the people are already ready for you?
Oh, that's the Yeah, I like that.
It's like I can flashbang them, and the 75th Regiment guy that I'm friends with on Twitter fucking loved the way I wrote this scene. I could flashbang them, but they will probably fire right at the door after the flashbang, blinded. They'll still fire. They know they'll still have their weapons trained, and it's risky. They'll probably hit me. Or I could throw a frag into the room, but the problem there is this is, he's not going to go into great detail. This is classic fucking drywall with aluminum framing and possibly some 2x4s. So immediately that's not going to protect you. You'll get hit by your own frag grenade. So he goes, so that won't work. He says, so sometimes from my experience, the best thing to do is make your own door. He blows the wall next to him and goes right.
That scene. That's so funny.
Smokes him as he goes in the door. Just pop, 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 and kills all of them.
Because nobody expects you to come through the wall like the Kool-Aid guy.
I know a lot of Army Rangers. I know a couple of Navy SEALs, and I know a few guys that were Marine Recon, Force Recon, and Raiders in the Marine Corps. They're bringing that back, by the way. Marines are bringing back the Raiders. And every single guy that's read this, that's got combat experience, goes, this is fucking good, dude. This is really good. You're really nailing the attitude of the fucking door kicker.
I love John's inner dialogue. It's hilarious.
Well, he's always making jokes to himself. And he goes, nobody ever expects the Kool-Aid guy to come through the wall.
Right. And I think, of course, I didn't know what that meant. So Gary showed me a couple of ads.
So I had to show her what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah.
We don't even have Kool-Aid here, so.
That's sad. Every country should have Kool-Aid.
Sanders says Mike needs a Frau Blücher in his life.
No, he says that Gary needs one.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I have my own Frau Blücher.
He's making me sound worse than I am.
Who is? I'm not trying to make you sound bad. I actually like Frau Blücher.
She's funny.
I feel bad for her because of the fucking horses with her name.
And it's not even a thing. They made that up for the movie.
Well, he says it's from the old Jewish, and it means the horse that is taken.
No, I could not find anything on that. I did my thorough research on that. It's.
I'm telling you, that's what he said. It's in the fucking making of video. He said that. You heard him say it. So your argument isn't with me, it's with him.
Yeah, whatever.
So don't fucking bring your shit at me, motherfucker.
Fuck off. Oh, here we go.
What?
Gambit and the copy paste. Yeah, we covered
and
that.
I don't know what the global box office was. I know that they broke even in the States, but that's only for the States. I don't know how it did overseas because it was a $25 million film, and they probably spent a couple of million on marketing because it was cheaper to market films back then. And
they traveled a lot because they shot a lot on location or similar locations, standing in for other places. I mean, they had how many fucking 16 helicopters for the final scene at the crater? That will have cost them. And here comes Rocket Kitty.
Rocket Cat burning up its what should the cat be burning up?
I don't know.
In space.
I know my Rocket Kitty has a thing for toilet paper.
Rocket Cat burning up its litter up here alone.
We had a fun moment when I heard a noise and I turned towards the door and she comes walking out of the bathroom with the first, like the beginning of the toilet paper roll in her mouth, dragging it all the way from next to the toilet to my living room. Like, what the fuck are you doing? She was so proud.
Yeah, weird cat.
She's weird. That's why we're a good match, because she's a weirdo. She's chasing her own tail at 14 years old. She's a kitten running on dog software. Doesn't get weirder than that. So I'm pretty sure it was 16 Gambit, not 1,000. Toilet paper mayhem. Yeah, I mean.
I've been lucky. None of my cats ever had a thing with fucking toilet paper.
She never had. She likes stealing my, and I'm going to say paper tissues because I hate the other word that I grew up using. But yeah, the toilet paper thing is relatively new. So I blame that on her being bored because her brother isn't around anymore. But it was mayhem, Sander. Absolutely. Because, you know, when you try to roll up toilet paper again, it gets all wonky and shit. No, Sander, it's not Kleenex. I have a step-grandmother from Wales, and my half-aunt, I guess, my dad's half-sister, is a year younger than me, so we spend a lot of time together because she has old parents, not many kids in the neighborhood in Vienna, so I spent weekends there, and I kind of learned English that way because we watched Kitty TV, and her mom would speak English with her. She grew up bilingual. And my granddad used these cloth handkerchiefs, so the word for paper tissue, like but whatever you use to clean your nose, was hanky when I grew up. And Gary hates it.
Yeah, because hanky means cloth tissue.
I'm telling you, she used it for everything, not just cloth ones for my granddad. But they're fucking gross. I agree on that. This is where she died, right? When he brings her back in the leaves. They're inside.
Yeah, she gets shot.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Bush. She gets shot, yeah. But he proves that with a deer earlier, that he can bring back life. And he uses his, not the last, he has 2 of these little balls left. He uses one to bring her back, and then the last one.
That reminds me of Minty, the guy who's really good at playing with his balls.
Yeah, Minty did it on purpose, though. I
don't normally laugh at his jokes, but that shit was funny. Like,
I accidentally said something funny about his balls when we watched the movie, and it cracked Gary up. And I was like, oh shit, no, I did not.
I don't normally find Minty very funny. I think his jokes are really very dad joke, which is not funny.
He's trying too hard. He should focus on his facts and not on being funny.
Probably going to put that up on his belt rather than have it down below.
Vince just switched from Joe's chat to ours. Because he was all on his own over there.
This is the only effect in the film I thought was doesn't stand up to today. Him walking through that fire.
Yeah. That scene, though, they had to close an interstate for 3 days to film that scene with the roadblock. That was insane. What? Stop bitching.
Make me. I heard her. That was a direct challenge to your authority.
I don't have any authority.
That's what she said.
Maybe over you, definitely not over my cat. She wants to play. Slasher Fred says, this movie came out the same year as another movie using the word star, The Last Starfighter. I don't know that one.
Yeah, this came out the same year as Ghostbusters, too.
There it
1984.
is. His last little ball.
I loved The Last Starfighter. That was a good film. And Keith and I have talked previously about doing that on the show, talking about that movie.
I hate tunnels like that. I'm too claustrophobic for that shit. And I didn't know that they transport houses like that. It's obviously a tiny house, but I have never seen that before.
Those are they're modular homes, and you take them in two parts, like mobile homes, and move them and then put them together. Why are you arguing with me? What the fuck do you know about mobile homes, Kat?
She's not arguing with you.
You sounded like she was arguing with me.
No, she's saving that up for when we move over there. Ugh, shut up.
Nobody gives a shit what you think, Kat.
She hasn't even seen the movie. She was asleep the whole time.
I like doing hair.
You're very good at it, especially black people's hair.
That one's so time consuming because I got to go in and do all those little circles for the curls. And I don't think I've ever drawn a black guy with a jerry curl. I think
With a what?
I've never done a black guy or a woman with a jerry curl.
I don't know what that is.
I'm assuming that everybody watching the show right now knows.
What's a jerry curl? Someone please enlighten me.
You
Nobody?
can Google it.
Not while doing the show. Todd Jones says Anima's cat. Anima's pussy keeps making noise. She's in my lap now, so she'll be quiet.
Yeah, there comes a point where Charles Martin Smith has to take his stand against Jekyll's character. They both work for the NSA, but Jekyll is the negative side. You know, we invite the alien here, and you want to kill him and give him a vivisection. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, they have that lab set up with leather straps on the table, so they want to take him alive. And they both have a point, but Golden truth is somewhere in the middle. We did invite all intelligent species to visit. Mike says super short curly hair, but that's exactly what you're doing for your black people. Super short curly.
All right, here you go. This is a Jerry curl.
Oh.
It's where they
Yeah.
use stuff in their hair and then crimp it in order to give it that look instead of going for the afro. And one of the worst I've ever seen is this one. That's Ice Cube.
It looks terrible.
Fucking Ice Cube with fucking Jerry curl. And basically this version, this is the 80s version, it's the black version of a fucking mullet.
Yeah. I keep pointing that out when we talk about movies made in the 80s. The 80s had everything going wrong with glasses, hairstyles, and clothing.
There's another actor with the Jerry curl. That just looks fucking weird. Is that AI? I don't believe that that's real. I don't believe that's real.
That looks like AI, yeah.
So there you go. Let's get the movie back up.
No, Dauerwelle is nothing like that. That's just when you curl straight hair. And if it's done well, it looks natural. Which they weren't capable of doing in the 80s. Dauerwelle means perm. Gary did it, and he hated it.
Oh yeah, when I was on stage, when I played Mercutio, I had my hair permed to look more like the character.
I think that's the roadblock.
Oh, look at that old Model T.
The car?
Yeah, I told Anima growing up out there in the Southwest, we'd go on a trip and you'd go by the signs for the Thing. It's still there. It's still fucking there, that mummy. It's featured in another film made for TV called Gargoyles that came out in 1972. And I consider that still a great fucking horror film, monster film of the 1970s for TV. Bernie Casey is one of the gargoyles in it. It's one of his early starring roles.
Probably not something I'm going to watch ever.
No, you need to. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
It's the fictional telling of humans finding where the gargoyles have hidden for 1,000 years. Oh, I remember that. Fuck yeah, Ghost in the Machine. Yeah, it just tanked. It tanked. I don't know why. That's sort of when she started to disappear from film. Because that movie tanked.
Why did she disappear from film, though? She's a good actor.
Her career just sort of started dying. The movies weren't making money. And it's hard to get work when your films don't make money.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, I should say, really helped her. And mega hat and the plaid shirt. Yeah, you don't get more redneck than that. Mega hat. There you go, Todd. That's what I was joking about. Nobody's knocked his fucking MAGA head off. I didn't know that. A woman directed that. That's why it tanked.
Fuck off, Gary. And the list of the slaps with the teddy bear gets longer and longer every day. I'm going to beat the crap out of you with my teddy bear.
I'm going to crush you. I'm going to crushinate you.
Yeah, that's a promise.
You could call me the crushinator.
Yeah, Todd. Gary does a pretty good army.
What's that?
Todd Jones did. That's a pretty good army.
Mike's
do
is
him
better
well.
than mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Comic book colorist friend of mine, artist, amazing artist, John Aldrich, and I did a wizard show together, and we were right across each other on Artist Row. And we were guest artists. We were invited. They paid for us to be there, gave us a hotel room and everything. It was really nice. And he and I sat across from each other, arguing for 2 days. Stop talking like me. You're not funny. I'm the real thing. Dueling Arnold. It was, and people would stop and fucking just laugh their asses off because we were so fucking retarded. I get more people than you. My artwork is more powerful.
That sounds like fun. Dueling armies. And that's when he's giving her the baby. Because she tells him
I'm in the middle of doing a show, honey.
Yeah, that's his daughter calling him.
Yeah, here, guys. That's my daughter calling me in the middle of a show. There she is.
Hi, Zoe. Good job.
They're saying, hi, Zoe. So I can't talk right now, but was it something important?
No, I'm just pissed.
Why are you pissed?
It's fine. I'll call you later.
All right. Well, enjoy that food. I'm on liquid diet today because tomorrow's my procedure.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah, fuck you. I love you too. All right, bye, baby.
Wonder where she gets that attitude from, because Gary still has it.
Well, that sucks. She's eating. It looked like she was eating orange chicken from a Chinese restaurant. The crotchinator. I will kick you right in your crotch. Yeah, some days, like the first Arnold impression I ever did was somebody says, "Do Arnold from Do Arnold from oh, I remember, from Total Recall." That was what it was, and I went, ah, because when he's like suffocating out on the Mars surface, the puppet head has his tongue sticking out. Ah, it's wagging back and forth. Goddamn right, she's just like me, Mike.
Yep.
I couldn't imagine any other actor play this part. I really couldn't. And he did two things with this character. Is he was mimicking a bird, was part of it. The bird movement. What was the other thing? There were two things he did to do this character.
He had a dancer to help him with his movements, because his species, they are made of light. They are basically just orbs of light. So being in a physical body is very strange for him. And to portray that correctly, he had a dance instructor, and he studied ornithology, like the way birds move.
Okay, if you guys don't know this, if you don't want to do the like darken it in, this is an instruction to your inker to put an X. And when you see an X, that means it's just solid black. And it saves you from having to do it.
Interesting.
And I don't know what hairstyle to give this guy. I'm thinking about giving him a mohawk, or I don't know.
No, I think you should leave the mohawk to Tedesco.
What kind, he's a biker, so what kind of hairstyle should I give him?
Maybe what hairstyle do bikers have? I think they grow it out a little bit. Shaggy looking.
Yeah,
like
they tend to have
rock
long,
band
but I've already
members.
got a guy with long hair over here. I got a bald guy here. So I got to give this guy something to give them a distinct look.
Hmm.
And I'm putting the X's in here again because that's going to be dark, blacked out right there.
You could go for what they like to do in Southern Europe and Turkey and shit, where they slick it back with a lot of hair gel. That's a look you don't have yet in that book. Jose's mullet.
Right. Give him a bullet. I'll give him some slick back hair.
Hi, Shanatsky.
Hey, what's up,
this spotted
mister?
mullet too. Business in the front, party in the back is what Joe says. Mullets look terrible. Here's his banner. That's Martine, that's not me, Shanatsky.
What's not you?
The banner, fuck you, Shanatsky. That's Martine, who is not talking for some reason.
I wanted to see if you guys would miss me. That's what he pulled earlier. If you would notice.
Sounds like PMS to me.
Yeah. Sounds like you're just a little needy there, Martin.
Stop giving him shit.
He's my friend. I got to.
I know.
Rule.
It's what we do with our friends. We shit on them, and they shit right back usually. I think that's why Gary fell in love with me. He was shitting at me, I was shitting right back, and that shut him up and cracked up the panel, including Keith.
Yeah, Keith's used to just not knowing how to deal with me.
Now, I took him by surprise by shitting back at you and actually making you shut up for a moment. I got complimented on that. Connie Cleary is here. Hi, Connie.
Hi, Connie. There we go. What do you think of that hairstyle?
Yeah, it's different from the other hairstyles you have. I think it works.
Original Mohawk.
They plucked it? Really? Holy shit, that's hardcore. Vince says Gary's all for a party in the back.
I don't know if I like that guy's hair. I may have to re-pencil that later. Hey, look, it's Saddam Hussein.
That's the room that they have prepared for the vivisection. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, he goes, straps.
No, he sees that and goes, welcome to planet
Well, he
Earth.
tries to lie. Jekyll tries to lie. He says, well, if he doesn't make it, we need to do it. And he goes, with straps?
Yeah.
There he is, Saddam Hussein there. You see it?
I bet YouTube isn't happy about you saying that name twice now.
Saddam Hussein?
Hmm. I mean, I don't know. It's fucking YouTube.
Yeah, he's telling
We
them,
do
you
not
do,
like each other.
you do what I tell me, or you can go back to making shitty money at the college. It's up to you. And this is when he starts to mentally defect. And I don't mean defect like broken, but to separate.
Bye, Mike.
Mike's got to go. See you, Mike.
Yeah, he has stuff to do. Nerdy and
Yeah,
stuff.
Mike.
Arrivederci.
Well,
Team.
it's live. Martine is still here.
Yeah. Right there.
You could give him Starman's hairstyle.
Who? What?
The guy that you didn't know what to do with his hair.
No, I've already given him a hairstyle. I went with the slick back one.
There is that Indian thing that's falling to pieces now.
Yep.
If it's still there.
It's
even.
closed now. Yeah, it's I'm assuming
It
it's probably
looks
torn down
sad.
by now. Because it's been that one video was like in 2018, 2019. So
And
I'm
it
like,
looked so
I-
sad back then. They just gave it up and let it fall apart. I like that guy. Giving them the cherry cobbler. Whatever that is. Some kind of cake.
Well, at first I thought he was, when I saw this in the theater, I thought he just drugged them.
That's what I thought initially, yeah. But it's not what he's doing. Wait, they didn't have blue screen in the 80s? I'm sure they did.
They had blue
They just
screen,
didn't
not
use
green
it.
screen.
Yeah, I know. They just didn't use it for this movie.
What's that? Somebody asked a question?
No, Gambit just saying no blue screen, no CGI, no nothing. They did have CGI too back then.
There is blue screen used in this film. Absolutely is. The scene where he walks through the fire with her.
Yeah.
And it's not very good.
That's why it looks so weird, yeah. He took his MAGA hat off, yeah? He did. Yeah, Gambit, you better believe Gary. He knows what he's talking about, usually.
What's that?
He says, or it did have a blue screen.
Yeah, they did that's the only scene with blue screen used, as I recall, is the where he's got to walk through the fire. That's travel matting. I guarantee you. They matted the shit out of it, and it looks weird because of it.
Yeah, it does.
And what I would like to see is somebody go back and get the raw footage of that and clean that up today, because that would look fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Here he is doing the right thing, letting them get away.
And he smokes the cigar finally. He actually lights it.
Yeah, and blows it in the other guy's face. That was awesome. You at your very best when things are worst. That's what he likes. The only problem I'm having with this movie is when he's talking about the place where he's from, and it's like all are equal and no wars and only one language. I'm like, oh, come on. Really? He does admit that they miss something, though, because that's what he likes with Earth people that he meets. They're so different.
Yeah, everybody's exactly alike where he's from.
Yeah, like no war, no hunger. Everybody's equal, and yeah, nah. I didn't really like that. There you go. I made an animal noise there.
Well, I said it when he said it. I went, oh, he's describing communism.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Not.
Yeah. It sounds boring and not really functional, too. Todd says The Thief of Baghdad was the first movie to use blue screen in 1940.
Yeah, and it's actually a good film.
Holy
That
shit.
film and the original Jungle Book movie with Mowgli is really good.
I didn't know blue screen goes that far back.
It's a form of it. It's not quite what blue screen became a thing later on, but it's the first film to use what would become blue screen.
Well, movies, especially from the 50s and 60s, they keep surprising me by what they were able to do back then already.
Yes, even the bikers in this have proper trigger discipline.
That's important. I hate when they finger the trigger all the time. Ever since Gary taught me that, it just jumps out like
fingering it like
his
16-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, right? Hate that. Here come the helicopters. What kind of a helicopter is that, by the way? I forgot to ask when
Those
we
are
watched.
Hueys.
Oh, okay. I think that's Joe's favorite helicopter, a Huey.
Oh, it's a great helicopter.
He likes drawing them when he needs helicopters in his artwork.
He would.
And that crater is big. And the little piece of meteorite that caused it is so tiny. I mean, it's what's left of it, but still. Oh, I think Joe likes that I remembered that the Huey is his favorite helicopter.
Oh, is he in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, get back to your fucking show, Joe. What the fuck, man?
I think he has 20 minutes before he starts. Something like that. And he is dying. He needs to leave.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing they don't really physically make clear until this final scene, is that he's dying.
Yeah, but in this scene, it's pretty obvious that he's running out of time. Did you leave me too now, Gary? What the fuck?
Read the private chat.
Oh, great. Martine, you there? Am I talking to myself
Maybe.
now?
That's good
Maybe.
therapy.
No, it's not. No one wants that. Me talking to myself.
Pippin and what? Oh, the big flying reflectant ship.
That ship looks great.
Look,
Oh, look who's back.
I figured I'd come back and help you out, Anima. Sounds like Gary's going to be out for a second.
Yeah. So thanks. That's really sweet of you.
Well, I'm just in the middle of, opening up articles, getting them set up and everything.
Well, I felt really lonely, so thank you for coming back in. So lonely. Everybody leaves
Well, Martin's
me.
so busy producing that he forgets to talk.
No, I'm not producing shit.
Uh-oh. Look out. Okay. I stand corrected. Thank you, sir.
He's just pretending.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Gambit
this
has a good
movie is cool.
suggestion.
I wonder if they had another ending where I wonder if they had another ending where she goes with him. That would have been cool.
No.
Yeah, that
No.
ship always reminded me of the circular ship, the sphere ship from Heavy Metal.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what the name of the ship is, but
she can't go with him. She asks him, she begs him, take me with you. And he says, no, I can't. You would die up there. And she says, I don't care. And then he pauses and says, that I care. Because she taught him to love someone means to care more for them than for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's
what
his way of
what do I
telling
think
her
about
that
what?
loves her.
What was that question?
Mothman
sightings. Well, I've always been fascinated by the Mothman prophecy.
We watched something about that, yeah.
And it's like since I was a kid, I heard about that, and I watched the movie with Richard Gere, and I was kind of disappointed with that film. I didn't think it was a very good adaptation of the book, but no, I'm absolutely fascinated with the New Jersey Devil, the Dog Man, the fucking Mothman shit, because they said that there were Mothman style sightings near Chernobyl.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
never knew that.
That's right. I think it's interesting, and I am fascinated with cryptids. By the way, when I was a kid, my brothers told me that the Bigfoot stories, and it was in the news too. So we'd watch it, and then I would have to go to bed before everybody because I was the baby. And so they'd send me in the room, and my brother Mike or my brother Jim would come in. Now be careful, because Bigfoot's so tall he could probably reach in through this window here. So make sure to keep your feet away from the window.
So fucked up.
My brothers did some fucking mean shit to me when I was a kid. They would tell me things because I believed them. And I think that's the Asperger's thing with me, is I'm so gullible and take people literally. Yeah, Michael Douglas. A lot of people don't know that Michael Douglas was one of the executive producers for this film.
Yeah,
and he chose the composer, and John Carpenter went with it because it was the only thing he demanded. It's the only thing he ever
and
did.
I like Michael Dice. He's a good composer. Not great. He's good. He's really good. He's solid. He delivers what he's supposed to deliver, and I actually do like the theme to this movie.
Michael Douglas, he produced the first movie I ever saw that won the Big Five. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He got his first Academy Award for that, and he was still on television doing Streets of San Francisco with Carl Malden when he did it.
And he used to be roommates with Danny DeVito.
Yeah,
which is why he gave Danny DeVito his break.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge Douglas fan, man. I love that guy.
There are two taxi actors in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest: Christopher Lloyd and Danny DeVito.
Yep. And
And
nobody knew
Reverend
they
Jim,
were.
by the way, was written specifically for him. And they thought it was going to be a one-off where he was the one who actually marries them. I think it was no, it's Latka and Simca.
Right.
And he's going to perform their wedding. And it was going to be a one-off, but it was so fucking popular and they loved him so much that he got written into the show as Reverend Jim. What's his last name?
Oh, I don't
Dumbowski.
remember.
Dumbowski. Isn't that it?
Way
Dumbowski.
too long. Been way too long. Let me see. I'm on IMDb right now. I'll look it up.
And did you know there's another Mike Douglas too? Mike Douglas, the TV host.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cruising is one of those films that I didn't want to see it when I was a kid. And when I became an adult, I was even less interested in watching it. So I've never seen Cruising. I know trivia about it, but I've never watched the movie.
Is that the movie with Pacino going undercover as a gigolo or some shit?
No, it's
or in the gay scene or
gay
something?
man in the gay community.
Christopher Lloyd's character was Reverend Jim Iganowski.
Iganowski.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to sound like ignorant. Ignowski. And it's not even his fucking last name, the character's last name. You find out later what his real last name is. It's a character that he created when he just dropped out and he didn't want to be found by his family.
That's cool.
Well, Douglas seemed to really have liked Nietzsche because he used him in the Jewel of the Nile of the following year.
Yep.
So.
Jewel of the Nile or the original
sort of
Romancing
villain.
the Stone, right?
Romancing the Stone. He's in that one.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's in both of them, but he's introduced in that one, in Romancing the Stone. Yeah. You know what's funny about the Romancing the Stone? Anima, you're going to think this is just brutally bad. My wife to this day will not watch that movie.
Why not?
Because it is the only movie that her first husband, she was married to for 16 years, ever took her to.
Oh, okay.
She never went to the movies with him ever again, apparently. And she will not watch that movie.
So bad, huh?
No, it's, I guess bad taste in her mouth because of the company she was keeping when she went to see it, I guess. Because, So I have to watch that one without her when I want to watch it. And I'm a huge fan of that movie, let me tell you. Because, when you first... I'm sorry, go ahead.
The only ex that I was ever really serious with and lived together with, the shit we watched together was great.
Yeah.
He was a nerd too.
Mm-hmm.
Science fiction, Schwarzenegger movies. I watched Terminator with him. And I wouldn't have on my own. That's not something I would have picked renting VHS, but yeah, he introduced me to some stuff, but we didn't have the time that Gary and I have now.
Mm-hmm.
Because he worked weird hours and so did I, and yeah. And he was a gamer too, so.
The peak hours for creative types is 11 at night till 3 in the morning.
That's true. I can back that up for sure, sir.
That's not when we hang out, though, because
I'm a big time night owl.
No, I mean, he would work the super early shift when I was working as a waitress until midnight. So we had weeks where we barely saw each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just he would come home when I would get up. Shit like that.
So yeah, Starman, kick-ass movie. Love it.
Go watch it. Go watch it if you haven't
Definitely
already.
awesome. Awesomeness. Yeah. I've always been a big Jeff Bridges fan. I think he's another guy that's super underrated.
He should
I
have
was watching him as a kid. I watched him when he was young and in movies, and he was just really good.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've always seen him as the other Kurt Russell, because Kurt Russell he competed for roles. That was the actor that was up for this part. Was Kurt Russell? That was another actor.
Yep. They're about the same age.
One that they wanted, I think.
At the same time.
No, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was the first one that they wanted for that role. Like Tom
Really?
Cruise, he was too young. Yeah, and he was too young. That wouldn't have been right.
Yeah, romancing stone. I was going to say what I love about Douglas in that one, and it's simply the way it was written and the way the director shot it. He comes off like an Indiana Jones type when you first meet him, and then you come to find out he's just a con man like everybody else in the damn movie. You know?
Yeah.
He's just a little bit more. He's a little bit more likable about it. You know what I mean? He doesn't screw people over to try and get what he wants, but you know, he definitely tries. You know, he's definitely taking advantage of this chick when he first meets her to get her out of trouble, right? You know. But when you first see him jumping around with a shotgun, taking care of all the bad guys, you know, yeah, he comes off like an Indiana Jones type.
Gambit just started talking about Blade Runner.
Oh well.
What about it?
And
you want to talk about you want to talk about derailing? Here we go.
Yeah. He just wants Gary to stick around because once you start Gary on Blade Runner, we are going over for at least half an hour. There's no way we end the show on time.
I'm doing art right now, so I can't really get into it.
We're almost at the end anyway. Almost at 2 hours.
I'm going to wrap up these pencils here. File, save. I don't know if I hit save during the whole time I've been drawing.
But I really think that Starman is something that John Carpenter really showed that he's a good director because, like Gary said earlier in the show, he had nothing to do with the production end of this movie. He was just the guy behind the lens. He was the guy with the camera, right? And it wasn't a script he wrote. He didn't do the music for it. None of that shit like he usually does.
And everybody had a great time doing this movie.
Yep. Yep. Very cool stuff, man. Very cool stuff. And I agree with
Winter Kills is a very good film.
Show. Which one? Winter Kills? Yeah.
Very good film.
Don't know that I've seen that one. But yeah, I'm a huge Carpenter fan, and this is one of my favorite ones he ever did. Because you look at a lot of his library, there's not anything else like this. I mean, he's got some softer-hearted stuff like Big Trouble in Little China in there, but there's not. Most of his stuff is pretty heavy, you know. Most of the stuff he does is really heavy-handed, man.
Yeah, Winter Kills has a great cast because you got like John Huston in it. Fucking who else is in that movie? Oh crap! I remember John Huston is in it. Eli Wallach. Oh shit! Yeah, Sterling Hayden is in it. What a great fucking actor! Most people don't know who the hell he is unless you say, you know, the police captain that gets shot by Al Pacino in The Godfather at the dinner scene.
Yeah,
and they go, "Oh, that guy!" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Sterling Hayden, man. Great fucking actor." And you got the Psycho guy in it too. What's his name?
The Psycho guy?
Yeah, from Psycho. Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins, yeah.
Yeah, Perkins is in it. I mean, it's some really odd picks in this film because they've got other actors in it. Because, like, classic Western actor Richard Boone's in it. And I do believe, and you might want to double check on me on this one, I think Toshiro Mifune is in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Great. He was the Japanese Spencer Tracy John Wayne because he could play roles Spencer Tracy could play, and he could also play roles that John Wayne would play, the tough guy. Take no prisoners. Yeah, you got it. Thank you, Vince. Yeah, it's Anthony Perkins. He's in the film. Winter Kills is a good movie.
Anthony Perkins was actually in a lot of stuff. It's just everybody remembers the Psycho, and they kind of draw a blank when he does something else, you know?
Well, Perkins, he was in a lot of films, and he's really good in whatever he plays, but he's best known for Psycho. Mm-hmm. And he came back to that character and did 3 more films is so wonderful. But yeah, he was like in Catch-22, It's one of my favorite films with him. And then there was this one movie he did back in the 70s. It scared the shit out of me. The Last of Sheila. And it's got James Coburn in it. All-star cast. It's a mystery film. But what makes... Oh, and he's also in the TV version, the best version of Les Miserables, which plays Javert.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And he drowns himself in it too. I love that movie. But no, he's in a Murder on the Orient Express with Sean Connery and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But like my favorite film, and I think, I'm not totally sure, but I think he was involved with directing it as well. And it was called The Last of Sheila. Let me look it up real quick because I got to find out. The Last. And we need to do this film because I would love to do this film.
Okay.
Not if. There it is. Found it. 1973. It was directed by Herbert Ross. Trying to remember what Perkins' part was in this. Yes, he was the writer. That's what it was. And here's the weird part. He co-wrote it with his boyfriend. And if you did not know this, that his, because he was married with children, but he also was gay. And he had a just years-long relationship with Stephen Sondheim. Name sound familiar?
Yeah. Anybody that follows
musicals, you should fucking know.
Broadway, you should know who that is. Yeah.
Sweeney Todd, West Side Story.
Yeah.
Gosh.
All that great
He worked
music.
on Dick Tracy. He did the music for Dick Tracy. And he and Sondheim had a relationship, and they wrote this screenplay called The Last of Sheila together. And it's such an odd thing because I can see Anthony Hopkins writing it, but seeing Stephen Sondheim attached to this thriller is just off-putting. It's weird. But it's actually really good, and you've got Richard Benjamin in it, James Coburn, Diane Cannon, and the wonderful James Mason is in it. Ian McShane, who's in a new movie, by the way, that's on Amazon, about a bunch of improv comics that are hired by cops to go undercover. And it's a comedy because they're fucking idiots. And so Ian McShane is in that too. I love that he's still alive and making movies. Fucking Ian McShane, best known by most people, oddly, for what was that Western where he ran the bar in it for seasons on HBO? Deadwood.
Yeah,
Deadwood.
Mm-hmm.
He was the main antagonist in the series, who would sometimes be a good guy, but he didn't want to be. He just ended up being a good guy in the film. So, but if you get a chance to look that film up, guys, it's called The Last of Sheila. And I went to see that in a movie theater at the Mattoon Theater in Illinois with my brother Steven and his girlfriend. And that's what my brother would do when he babysat me. He'd get a girl and go to a movie. That's how I saw about. I went to see The Last of Sheila with him doing that, and I saw another film. It's part of the Italian thrillers, Gelato, whatever it's called. It's part of that series of films that came out in the late 60s and early 70s. And one of those films was Cat o' Nine Tails. Scared the shit out of me as a child, but I love that movie. I own that movie because as I got older and I went back to see that movie in my teens, I was like, God, that movie's great.
Mm-hmm.
Carl Malden is a blind man with his granddaughter staying with him. James Franciscus is a reporter, and it's one of those things because I think that one of my favorite subgenres is movies where kids are in peril. You know, because they're trying to do something they're way too fucking young to be doing. Because I grew up as a child doing shit that I shouldn't be doing with my friends that could get us killed. And somehow I sometimes wonder why the fuck I did some of the things I did as a child. In fact, I was just talking about it with some of the guys, some of the things we did. Sondheim hated working with Madonna in the film Dick Tracy. Yes, I read that. Not surprised. I couldn't imagine anybody liking working with her. I'm assuming that the guy that played 88 Keys probably hated her too. Because he's such a professional. What is his name, honey? You love that guy. He was in that FBI series where they look for serial killers. Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah,
Mandy Patinkin.
Mandy Patinkin.
I could not see him liking Madonna. Now I know that the guy who played Dick Tracy liked her because he was banging her at the time when he did Dick Tracy, banging the shit out of that. Like, and what I don't like about him, Keith, is the fact that he still owns the rights to Dick Tracy as a film, and he won't give it to anybody because he wants to play him. And what he'll do to maintain control of that, and Keith and I just talked about this the other day, that he will make these little short commercials or short films, little vignettes with him in the Dick Tracy garb, and that allows him to keep control of the property, the IP. And it pisses me off because, yeah, Warren Beatty, that cocksucker. Yeah.
You like Warren Beatty, man?
I like his films. I like his acting, but I think he's a fucking prick. I know he's a fucking prick. Not a cool guy. He's not an asshole. He's a fucking prick.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about him, but I do dig his wife. I think she's in one of my favorite romantic comedies of all time with Michael Douglas. Yep.
He took her off the fucking market, and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah. She's a great actress, man. I love her.
Yeah, she is. She did that movie with him about the Jewish gangster.
Right. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the guy that built Vegas, right? Yeah, that one.
Vegas, and he got into Hollywood and really liked Hollywood. And he started fucking around, and Mickey Cohen and those guys fucking whacked him.
Said, yeah.
Shot him through the front window of his house, right into the back of his head. Took his eyeball out, shot him. It was fucking nasty.
Yep. But yeah, I've
By the way, do you know who his sister is? Warren Beatty's sister.
Yeah, it's oh my God, I've got her face. It's not Bette Midler. No, it's Shirley MacLaine.
There you go.
Yeah,
Shirley MacLaine.
I don't know why I always default
They've never
to
done
Midler
anything
for some
together.
reason. Yeah,
they've never
Shirley
worked
MacLaine.
together.
Yeah.
They've never worked together.
Nope.
And but they're siblings. So there you go. She's crazy as shit. She's batshit crazy.
Yeah, she is.
He's a prick, and she's a fucking nut job.
All right, buddy. I got to go get a protein bar before this show starts.
I got to end the show here. So Gambit87, thanks for being here. Tom Baker, Slasher Fred, thanks for being here, Joe.
Always, man. Always.
Slasher Fred. Ariel Bellette, Connie Cleary, Zax, a.k.a. Kyle, FKC 2005, a.k.a. Tim, Sander Hammerschlag, Todd Jones, Vince Womack. Thanks for helping us out today, too, Vince. Appreciate it. Penny Shinatsky and Genghis Khan, and of course, my buddy Keith, Movie Geek Keith. It's just always good to be here. Glad to see you guys. Thanks for being such a great chat. Like, how many comments were made today? I think over 400 comments.
Where do you see that?
It's through StreamYard. You can see how many there were.
Where?
It'll only show up when you haven't looked at them in a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
you click it,
we're
like put
over.
it on private chat. It'll say it next to the comments thing. It'll
Yeah.
say how many you have.
So there you go. So we're going to get out of here, guys. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, middle of the week, guys. Middle of the week. Get through to Friday. We'll see you again on Friday. I will be dealing with the doctor thing and the poop shoot.
Tomorrow? Yeah.
Come see me in 25 minutes, folks.
And in fact, I have to take the first half of this now, start drinking it.
Oh, God.
So I
End
need
the
to-
stream.
And that's why I got to end the show. I've got to start doing it. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this, taking this stuff. So I need to ask Brad and Lauren, like, how should I live in the bathroom for the next few hours? You know, I don't know.
No, just
The
be
cats
close.
would like your company.
Just be
Oh, it's
close.
next door. The bathroom is
Keep your
next
phone
door.
handy so you can have something to do and be close to the bathroom.
Yep. So we'll see you guys later. I don't know if I'm going to be telling any stories on Friday about it because I'm going to be unconscious anyway. They're going to knock my ass out with that stuff that killed Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Propofol, yeah.
Propofol. Knock me the fuck out.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, that'll be funny. The guy who puts it in me will ask me a question or to count backwards. And then I bet you $10 he'll say, you got knocked the fuck out.
They did not ask me to come back. They just injected it. I got a weird taste in my mouth. And then next thing I know is they woke me up.
Yeah, if I woke up with a weird taste in my mouth, I'd be looking like, why do I
No,
have a weird taste in my mouth? What'd you guys do?
I had a weird taste in my mouth and then I fell asleep. And that shit works fast, man. They put it in you, you go out.
I will, Keith. I will.
Crazy
It was a
here.
pleasure to
They
meet
put
you
it in
guys.
you and you go out.
Pleasure to meet you, Keith. I will tell Foxy you said hi, no doubt.
All right, let's
Absolutely.
get out of here.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Y'all come back now. You hear?